Nahant, NäÄ:hnt, is a town in Essex County, Massachusetts, United States. The population was 3,410 at the 2010 census, with just 1.0 square mile, 2.7 square kilometers, of land area. It is the smallest municipality by area in the state. It is primarily a residential community. History. Native Americans called the area Nahant, meaning the point, or almost an island. The original Indian name of the place, Nahant, signifies twins are two things united, referring to the two connected islands forming it. Located on a tide island jutting into Massachusetts Bay, it was first settled in 1630, in the second year of the Puritan coming. The servants of Isaac Johnson grazed his cattle on the land, and it was also often used by citizens of Lynn for grazing cattle, sheep and goats. Before 1800 there were only 3 homes on the island, those built by the Breeds and the Hoods, and the Johnson home built by Jeremiah Gray. The first hotel was built by one of the Johnsons 1802. And in 1817 a steamboat ran daily between Boston and Nahant. The town was originally part of Lynn. When the temperance movement threatened the summer resort trade in 1853, Nahant incorporated as a separate town. In the late 19th century, it was home to some of the country's first amusement parks, as well as a popular summer retreat for the wealthy, including the poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. The geologist Louis Agassiz was a resident, and the artist William Stanley Hazeltine produced many versions of his oil painting, The Rocks at Nahant. During World War II, East Point was the site of a coastal artillery. It is now a town park, and location of the Marine Science Center for Northeastern University Development. The old Nahant Life Saving Station, NLSS, on Nahant Road, and the new war memorial erected across the street from the NLSS were renovated in 2004. In 2003, the dilapidated Valley Road School was refurbished and recommissioned as the Nahant Community Center, which is now home to many local activities and banquets, including the local Boy Scout Troop 50. On September 25, 2005, the town of Nahant officially commemorated the completely rebuilt Bailey's Hill Gazebo as the Calantha Sears Gazebo. The original was built for the bicentennial in 1976, and over the years had fallen into disrepair. With funding from the Women's Club of Nahant in collaboration with the town of Nahant, local residents contributed to its reconstruction. Besides the cement base, the only remaining piece of the original is the wooden cylinder in the center of the roof, which still bears the 1976 emblem, repainted by Nahant local Octavia Randolph. Geography and transportation. According to the United States Census Bureau, the town has a total area of 15.5 square miles, 40.1 square kilometer, of which 1.0 square mile, 2.7 square kilometers, is land, and 14.4 square miles, 37.4 square kilometers, or 93.24%, is water. Nahant is a tide island connected to the mainland by a natural tombolo, effectively a peninsula though often referred to as an island. Nahant is connected by a causeway to the city of Lynn. The town is surrounded by Nahant Bay to the east, Nahant Harbor to the south, and Lynn Harbor to the west, all of which lead directly into Broad Sound in Massachusetts Bay. The town is essentially divided into a main portion and Little Nahant, just north of the main portion of town along the eastern side of the causeway. The area along the west side of town, between Black Rock Point and Base Point, is the most densely settled part of town. There are 10 beaches along the coastline, the largest being Nahant Beach and Long Beach, both of which line the eastern side of the Causeway Road north of Little Nahant. The town also has a few small parks and the Kelly Greens golf course. Nahant is just one of 4 towns out of the 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts, along with Rockport, Provincetown and Aquinnah, that only touches one other town by land. Gosnold and Nantucket do not touch any, only touching a 400-yard portion of Lynn by land. The water rights of the town also touch those of Revere, Winthrop and Boston, in Suffolk County, both by land and by sea. Nahant is the southernmost town in Essex County. The town is centered 14 miles, 23 kilometers, by land northeast of Boston, 9 miles, 14 kilometers, south of Salem, and 25 miles, 40 kilometers, southwest of Cape Ann. The town has no state routes of any kind within town, one of 15 in Massachusetts that share that distinction. The nearest state route is Route 129, within Lynn. The nearest highways are a highway portion of U.S. Route 1 in Saugus and Interstate 95 and Route 128 in Peabody. The only mass transit within town is Route 439 of the MBTA bus system, which loops within town before passing back into Lynn, providing access to Central Square, home to a stop along the Newburyport-Rockport line of the MBTA commuter rail, providing service between the North Shore and Boston's North Station. The nearest airport to town is Boston's Logan International Airport. Demographics. As of the census of 2000, there were 3,632 people, 1,629 households, and 970 families residing in the town. The population density was 2,918.7 people per square mile, 1130.9 per square kilometers. There were 1,704 housing units at an average density of 1,369.3 per square mile, 530.6 per square kilometers. The racial makeup of the town was 97.11% white, 0.39% black or African American, 0.08% Native American, 1.07% Asian, 0.06% Pacific Islander, 0.47% from other races, and 0.83% from 2 or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 1.07% of the population. There were 1,629 households, out of which 22.5% had children under the age of 18 living with them. 49.4% were married couples living together. 7.8% had a female householder with no husband present. And 40.4% were non-families. 33.8% of all households were made up of individuals and 11.7% had someone living alone, who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.20 and the average family size was 2.85. In the town, the population was spread out with 18.6% under the age of 18, 4.0% from 18 to 24, 28.0% from 25 to 44, 29.9% from 45 to 64. And 19.4% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 45 years. For every 100 females there were 91.2 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 86.7 males. The median income for a household in the town was $64,052. And the median income for a family was $76,926. Males had a median income of $52,045 versus $46,522 for females. The per capita income for the town was $41,807. About 1.4% of families and 2.6% of the population were below the poverty line. including 2.7% of those under age 18 and 2.0% of those age 65 or over. Nahant does not have a middle or high school. Students attend grades preschool through 6th at Johnson Elementary School in Nahant. For grades 7 through 12, students attend Swampscott Middle School. Points of interest: Nahant Historical Society Museum, located in the Nahant Community Center. The beaches. Practically an island, Nahant has no shortage of beaches. Northeastern University Marine Science Center, located at East Point, also home to Nahant's Observatory. Martin Scorsese filmed the lighthouse scenes for the movie Shutter Island here in the summer of 2008. The World War II bunkers, located inside Tri-Mountain and East Point. They were initially designed to defend Boston Harbor and the surrounding waters from a possible attack during the war. During the Cold War, the installation at East Point housed Nike missiles intended to stop a nuclear attack on Boston. The facility at Tri-Mountain was for aiming the missiles. The site of the country's first lawn tennis game is at East Point. 40 steps, a wooden staircase, originally consisting of 40 steps, leading down to a pocket beach found heading towards East Point. This now has more than 40 steps due to beach erosion. Annual events. The annual 4th of July fireworks started in 1996. The annual Nahant Christmas Parade is one of the biggest celebrations the town of Nahant puts on. The Memorial Day Parade is a day of homecoming for former Nahant residents who gather each year to watch the festivities, which includes the playing of taps at the cemetery and cannon fire at Tudor Wharf. In popular culture, Nahant appears in the 2015 post-apocalyptic RPG Fallout 4. The narrator of Sarah's Key, a novel by Tatiana de Rosne, was Miss Nahant in her youth. Actor Jason Mantzoukas is from Nahant. Actress Barbara Fuller is from Nahant. Image gallery. Town of Nahant official website. Marine Science Center for Northeastern University. Nahant Historical Society.